Hello everybody, welcome to another YouTube video. I am Dallas41, and today we are going to be ranking the best NBA players from every team. So I will be selecting one player who is the best in that team slash franchise's history, and I will be ranking them afterwards. So I'm taking a little break for my off-season reviews, but we will be back on that very soon. And for now, this is the best NBA players from every team. I am not saying that these players are the best 30 players in NBA history, but however, players like Larry Bird and Kobe Bryant will not be appearing on this list because they are not the best players to ever play for their specific franchises. So, I'm not saying that they're not top 30 players in league history. They're actually top 10. However, there are people they just played for the wrong team, like Celtics, Lakers. So, with all that said and out of the way, let's get into it. With number 30 from the Charlotte Hornets, we have Eddie Jones. So, yeah, moving on. At number 29, we have the Indiana Pacers with Paul George. So, yeah, moving on. We're going to be moving through this pretty quickly because we have 30 players to get through. So, number 28, the Washington Wizards, and we have Elvin Hayes. So, yeah, I know lots of you are going to say, what is Paul George compared to this guy? I don't even know who this guy is. Why is Paul George lower than him? Truth be told, Elvin Hayes had a great career, and Paul George is still in his career, so, Oh, and another little note. The same player cannot appear twice on this list, so it's one player from every team. Yeah, and I'm judging only by the years played on that team. I'm not judging by their entire career. So, anyway, number 27, we have the Memphis Grizzlies with Marc Gasol. So it was between him and Pau, and I guessed Mark was more loyal to the Grizzlies and played for longer with them, so, I gave it to Mark. Number 26, we have the Los Angeles Clippers with Bob McAdoo. So anyway, Los Angeles Clippers. Then we have at number 25, oh yeah, and you guys are probably thinking, why isn't it Kawhi Leonard? Well, because Kawhi Leonard hasn't yet played a single game for the Clippers. So, yeah. Number 25 that goes the Denver Nuggets with David Thompson. So that's the Nuggets. At number 24, it's the Atlanta Hawks with Bob Pettit. So that's Bob Pettit. At number 23, it's the New York Knicks with Patrick Ewing. So this guy was a force during the 90s and all that. So Patrick Ewing. At number 22, the Orlando Magic with Tracy McGrady. I was debating whether to give this to McGrady, Howard, or Shaq. And they all made really good cases for it. But I eventually gave it to McGrady. So, yeah. At number 21, the New Orleans Pelicans / the New Orleans Hornets with Chris Paul. Lots of you are going to be mad I put Chris Paul instead of Anthony Davis, but truth be told, Chris Paul was regarded as one of the best point guards in the league. Yeah, Anthony Davis is the best power forward in the league. However, Chris Paul just did a lot with this team, and he took them to the playoffs frequently. And I just think that Chris Paul on the Pelicans was better than Anthony Davis on the Pelicans. So, I mean, you can argue this is really the only real arguable one, but even if you did put just Chris Paul here, he would still just be there. Number 20, the Portland Trailblazers with Clyde Drexler. Very forgotten player until he moved to the Rockets and won a championship, but he was a very athletic guard. So Clyde Drexler. Number 19, the Toronto Raptors with Kawhi Leonard. It's funny how he only played at one season with them, and that makes him, their best player in franchise history. So, yeah. It was between him and Vince Carter, and I gave it to Kawhi Leonard because of his defense and the fact that he actually led them to a championship. Number 18, the Philadelphia 76ers with Allen Iverson. And lots of you guys are going to be confused why Wilt isn't on here, but Wilt played most of his great years on a different team. But as for the Sixers, it is Allen Iverson, who was also an amazing player. And the first ever NBA 2K cover athlete. So, Allen Iverson. At number 17, the Oklahoma City Thunder / Seattle Supersonics, and one of the only players who played for both iterations of this franchise, Kevin Durant. You see him in his Supersonics jersey and his Thunder jersey. So that's Kevin Durant. At number 16, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves with Kevin Garnett. So, Kevin Garnett. At number 15, we have the Miami Heat with Dwayne Wade. So, obviously LeBron James would if we didn't have the rule of you can only have one player per franchise, then yeah, it would probably be LeBron James. But I think LeBron James' best was on a different franchise. So this one goes to Dwayne Wade. At number 14, we have the Phoenix Suns with Charles Barkley. Rebounding machine, led his Suns to the NBA Finals, got beaten by the Chicago Bulls in 6 games, but he still took them to 6. So, Charles Barkley. At number 13, we have the Utah Jazz with Karl Malone. It was between Malone and Stockton, and really I just had to give it to Malone because of his sheer dominance. Plus, he has a cool nickname like the Mailman. So, yeah, Karl Malone. Okay, this one's a bit controversial, but number 12, the Dallas Mavericks with Dirk Nowitzki. And honestly, I think Dirk Nowitzki is the second best power forward of all time. Because if you look at the top, let's say, 4 power forwards of all time, these are like the top 4 widely recognized power forwards of all time. Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett, and Charles Barkley, and Karl Malone. So let's take the top 5. Like, Karl Malone, I think, wouldn't have been anywhere as good as if he didn't have John Stockton. Like, imagine if Dirk had Steve Nash with him. Like, imagine if Tim Duncan didn't have Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, David Robinson. I still think Tim Duncan's a better player than Dirk, but he had all that extra help. Charles Barkley was like a good rebounding machine, but and he did take his team to a while, but he didn't change the game the way Dirk did. And Kevin Garnett was sort of slow. He was just a good dunker on offense, and really defense was his bread and butter. But Dirk Nowitzki, he changed the game and all that. I don't know why I'm defending my pick here, but moving on. 12, Dirk Nowitzki. To the Brooklyn Nets at number 11. Quick challenge, find the number 11. The Brooklyn Nets, we have Julius Erving, Dr. J, one of the only players to play in the NBA and NBA, and still be a star in both. Number 10, the Sacramento Kings, with Oscar Robertson. Yeah, when he played, they used to be called the Cincinnati Royals. But then the Cincinnati relocated to Sacramento and they became the Kings. And still, Oscar Robertson's jersey hangs in the rafters. So, Oscar Robertson. Big O. Number 9, the Detroit Pistons with Isaiah Thomas. One of the greatest scorers. And typically, I think on the whole, Oscar Robertson had a better career, but I think it was pretty evenly split between Cincinnati and Milwaukee, whilst Isaiah Thomas it was easier to rank because all of his good years were on Detroit. So Isaiah Thomas took the Pistons to 2 NBA championships, 1 Finals MVP in one of them. So, yeah, Isaiah Thomas, the bad boy Piston. Number 8, we have the Houston Rockets with Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, dominant center in the mid-1990s when Michael Jordan left for baseball. So, Hakeem Olajuwon. At number 7, we have the San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan. So, yeah, the big fundamental, Tim Duncan. At number 6, we have the Golden State Warriors, or as they used to be called, the San Francisco Warriors, with Wilt Chamberlain. This was actually where all of his best years were played. So, yeah, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. At number 5, we have the Boston Celtics with Bill Russell. So, yeah. At number 4, I have the Milwaukee Bucks with Kareem AbdulJabbar, greatest scorer in NBA history. Changed the game for big men. So, yeah, Kareem AbdulJabbar. At number 3, we have the Los Angeles Lakers with Magic Johnson. So, yeah, greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson. So, yeah. At number 2, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James. And I think it's pretty obvious who the number 1 pick is. The Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We will be posting more NBA stuff. I will be doing some more off-season reviews in the near future. But for now, this is Dallas41 signing off.